Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Well, you guys, I already did a video about the live Vax concert, but more information now is coming out now that it's been taped. So let's look at that. You've heard the saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. So let's look at what's come out since the taping of the live Vax concert. First, Blind Item came out with this, where basically, and they're usually pretty spot on, where basically they're saying that the audience was told that when Harry came out that they should clap really loudly and raise a lot of noise. I have absolutely no trouble believing that, since this young lady posted on Twitter that two of her cousins attended and they were told to clap and scream when Harry came on stage. Then this little nugget of information came out that the event was organized by Sunshine Sachs, which of course we already knew that, and the tickets were handed out. It was a private event, and these people were told when they showed up that they needed to yell and scream and make a lot of noise when Harry hit the stage. From this picture, first of all, you can see that the place was pretty empty. They kept the number of people down to a minimum because of the virus. And a lot of people were not wearing masks, which shocked me because Los Angeles, California on that day had a high risk of exposure to COVID. Harry's wife was supposed to make an appearance, but then I found this on Twitter when she didn't, that stated that she made so many ridiculous demands and she wanted to take control that they basically told her not to come. Having seen her demands to the Harry Walker Agency for giving a speech, I have no problem believing that. And of course, she could always use the excuse of, I was just too pregnant. So she bowed out. Now, there is a claim that Harry got a standing ovation, but what they forgot to say was that nobody was allowed to sit during COVID for their restrictions. So everybody was standing the entire time, but they, conveniently left that part out. Now let's look at what Ginge had to say, shall we? The first thing he does is try to get the crowd hyped up by telling them how awesome they are. And if you listen closely, you can hear a few boos. Listen up.
Hi guys. This next bit's a bit dry, but very serious. But before I start, I just want to say every single one of you in here are awesome. So thank you.
Then Harry, who he and his wife are the kings of putting out misinformation, let me remind you about we were married 3 days earlier, starts talking about the vaccine and veers off into online misinformation, which is what his platform is for his company. Listen to this.
I understand why people are confused or sometimes don't know what to think or believe about vaccines. We are experiencing a viral pandemic alongside a digital pandemic. In today's world, we are so connected, like a vast nervous system, whether we're online or not. And much like the virus, there are no borders online. So when vaccine misinformation and disinformation spreads, magnified on social media and in parts of traditional media, it exposes a collective threat to humanity. I believe that misinformation is a global humanitarian crisis, and the crisis is getting worse.
So after talking about online miscommunication, of which he's so guilty of putting out, he stops, he pauses, and there's silence. And I think that's when people realize they're supposed to clap. Watch. Then he decides he's going to compliment the real heroes of the pandemic. Yes, we are.
Vaccinating frontline workers in the audience and the millions of frontline heroes around the world. You spent the last year battling courageously and selflessly to protect us all. You've served and sacrificed, put yourselves in harm's way, and acted with bravery, knowing the cost. We owe you an incredible debt of gratitude. Thank you.
I'd also like to point out that this is supposed to be a global thing, and yet every single person who appeared was American. And as far as it being shown globally, it's going on YouTube. As far as I heard, that's it. This is simply another bandwagon for Ginge and Crins to jump on. Then he went on to make the following statement, which I found shocking.
Beyond ourselves with empathy and compassion for those we know and those we don't.
Prince Harry.
Once again, hypocritical. Look at the way he has treated his family. Look at the way he's treated his wife's family. Look at the way his wife has treated his family. He has nobody to talk about compassion and empathy. And now for the best part, as usual, Finn update. I just wanted to give you an update and show how happy he is. What you doing? What you doing, little man? Okay, let's go. Let's go play. So, what do you guys think about Harry's statements on stage, which were hypocritical and self-serving, spouting word salad again, which is essentially what it was? Make sure to leave your comments below. Don't forget you can email me. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter. Don't forget about that coffee fund. And as always, have a great day.